Welcome to Pineapple Knits, a knitting and spinning video cast. I'm Marina, and you can find me everywhere on the web at Pineapple Yarn, especially Instagram, where I'm most active. And you can visit my hand-dyed yarn, fiber, and candle company at pineappleyarn.com. Thanks so much for joining me this week, and if this is your first time joining me, welcome. This is a podcast mostly about knitting and spinning, and yeah. I'm coming to you today from coastal South Carolina. I almost said Indiana. Nope, I am in coastal South Carolina, though it's kind of an Indiana day because it's really gray and cold. No offense, Indiana, but that would be typical March weather. But yeah, we're just having, we've actually have really beautiful weather here. I guess it's just kind of your typical spring where it's, warm a couple of days and cool a couple of days. But I'm not complaining because that just means I get to wear my Odyssey shawl some more. I finished this a little over a week ago, and I didn't get to show you last week. Just kind of an aside, I did film a podcast for you guys, and it didn't upload. YouTube would not let my video upload. I don't know what was going on. I tried all last week, probably for 5 days last week, and finally yesterday I just kind of gave up because I knew I was going to film a podcast today. So yeah, I haven't forgot about you guys. I've received so many messages too, just making sure I'm okay, and yes, I'm totally fine. My family's well, and so thank you for those messages, by the way. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so I finished my Odyssey shawl. So excited. And I have a new podcast area. I'm beyond thrilled about it. And yeah, just there's so many things I want to talk to you about. So I need to organize them all so this podcast isn't a complete mess. But it's a lot to remember from last week, surprisingly. Before I begin, I need to tell y'all what I'm drinking. And this, I had to get my insulated mug back out because it's cold. And I am drinking wild raspberry hibiscus from Stash. This has been my go-to tea for a couple of weeks now. I love it. It's so, so good. It's a hibiscus base and then it has flavoring in it. It's delicious. So I got it on Amazon. I'll link it below. It's so great. It is such a yummy fruity tea and I love it. All right, let's talk about the space I'm in. New space. I know I've been kind of jumping around my studio the last few weeks. My husband got all the trim put up on the windows. Yeah, for those of you who might be new, welcome. Thanks for joining. But we redid the studio, which is like a little, it's like a little house, kind of like a mother-in-law house on our property. And we redid the entire thing last year. And so we're like 97 or 98% done. It's just like the trim, the baseboards, the little details that no one wants to do because that's not where all the glory is, you know what I mean? But those are the things that we still need to do. And so now that everything is like super slowed down everywhere, my husband actually put the trim up on the windows, so that's really exciting. But I've wanted to do this podcast corner for quite a while, and so I pulled this old chair from my house. I love it. It's just, I love this chair so much. I can't even tell you. Put it in the corner here. I have a little knitting corner. It's away from all of my studio type, dyeing and all the messy stuff. This is like my nice corner. I couldn't be happier. I'm so thrilled. And hopefully, in the future, I'll be putting things up on the wall just like, so it's not so bare. But I don't like to throw things up on the wall right away. I kind of want to get a feel for how this space is going to work out. And yeah. So that's really exciting. I just plan on staying in here in this area for the foreseeable future. This is going to be my knitting podcast corner. I absolutely love it. Couldn't be more thrilled. So yeah, so that's exciting. Also, what I'm wearing, so exciting. I finished my Odyssey shawl a little over a week ago. Y'all, I couldn't be more excited about this. This was the most perfect project, knit, everything at pattern for right now. I could not be more thrilled. I'm telling you, if you are looking for a project to work on that is, you know, mindless, like a little, it's not challenging, but it's not like a vanilla sock. Do you know what I mean? It has wonderful garter, stitch sections. You don't really have to think all the time about everything. Yeah, this is so good. This is I guess, you know, kind of a shallow boomerang crescent type shawl. And I'm just going to show you all the sections. This is a pretty long shawl. It uses 3 skeins of DK weight yarn. The colorways that I used in this shawl are Sights on Summer. The middle section is Pacific Dreams, which is like a neon red, coral, yellow, pink shades. And then I have this yellow, which is Sunspot, and they work so well together. And so the deepest part of the shawl is right here. And I'll hold it up. So it's not terribly deep, which is this is my favorite shape of shawl. And it's just a wonderful size. It has these beautiful lace sections that are totally not complicated. This beautiful picot bind off. So this shawl is the Odyssey Shawl. It's by Joji Locatelli. It is available on Ravelry for free, which is incredibly generous. And I have received several messages from those of you who also love the colors in this shawl and want to knit them. And so I have put on my website, pineappleyarn.com, I've put a pre-order for the colors in this shawl. It will include 3 skeins of this DK weight yarn in 1 each of these colors. And yeah, so if you want to knit along with me, if you want a shawl just like this, head over to the website and check out the kits. I am so thankful I found this pattern, and I had really wanted to do a DK weight shawl. I don't know why. We're going into warm weather, but I just wanted to do a DK weight shawl. I have no idea why. I'm so happy that I found this because, yeah, this has really like pulled me through some challenging times, not gonna lie. I mean, this is not an easy time for any of us, I don't think. So anyway, Odyssey Shawl, so thrilled. I have it up on Ravelry. I know it's shocking, but I have been updating my Ravelry project, so you can check out some more projects there. But yes, this has been getting so much use, and I really couldn't be more thrilled. So happy about it. So I went on to my next project. I wasn't really sure what I was going to start. You know, since I've been doing so many socks on my sock machine, my circular sock machine, I have just not hand knit any socks. I haven't. But my daughter had wanted a sweater, and so I had dyed up this yarn, Midnight Garden. I dyed this up on my original worsted base several months ago in the hopes of knitting her a sweater, and I just haven't got around to it because I just haven't. Last week, I had knit the neckband. This week, here I am. I am completely done with the body, and I am moving on to a sleeve, believe it or not. So, it's so funny. I'm trying to think what I said in my last podcast, but it doesn't matter because y'all haven't seen it. So I'll just start from the beginning. This is for my 9-year-old daughter. She wanted a plain sweater. She wanted a sweater with no pockets, no stitch detailing, no color work, nothing. She wanted a sweater, a plain sweater in her words, knit out of this Midnight Garden colorway. And so I quickly went through my my stash of patterns and noticed that I have the Strange Brew ebook from Tin Can Knits, and it's just a compilation of a bunch of their patterns. And I selected the Mountain Mist pattern, which is a colorwork pattern. However, it is a worsted, it calls for a worsted weight yarn, and so that's what I used, and just I have omitted the colorwork. So it is a very simple 2x2 rib. You can see all the increases down here. So between the neck and these increases down here, that's where the color work would go. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then down here is a 2x2 rib for the hem. I am knitting the women's extra small because the children's pattern, they stop at a size 8 to 10. And I wanted to make sure that my daughter can wear this for a while. And so I just went up a size, which is their women's 8 to 10, or their women's extra small. But I am doing the detailing for child. So the neck is a 1-inch rib for the neck for a children's size, and maybe like 1.5 inches for an adult. I decided to go with a 1-inch rib on the neck. Same with the hem. It's a 1.5-inch hem for a child size. For an adult, I think it's 2 inches, and I just went with the 1.5. So I am just staying true to the extra small pattern, but just, you know, the length of the rib and whatnot, I will be changing. Now I want to go back to the increases where the color work would go. If I'm trying to think of the word, if I had more brain space right now, if I had more patience right now, I probably would have, well, maybe I would have looked for a pattern that didn't require color work, right? But I didn't. I'm using a color work pattern, and I probably would have kind of, I guess, divided these increases, just kind of split them up a little. So having some increases here and then having some down here, because as you can tell, you can see where the increases are. I'm sure this will block out, and even if it doesn't completely, I'm gonna be honest, I'm okay with it. It's for my daughter. My children are very, very rough on their sweaters. Like, this will not be a sweater just for, you know, looking nice or for church or something like that. This will be like an outside, we're gonna go climb trees kind of sweater, which is, it sounds crazy, but yeah, they get so much use out of these sweaters, and they actually held up pretty well, surprisingly. So that is all I wanted to talk about with this pattern. I am really, really into the worsted weight yarn these days. After I finished my Inside Story sweater, I think y'all remember that with the turtleneck, and it was my Cook Pine colorway, so it was the deep green. I have been so into worsted weight yarn, and the difference between knitting with a DK weight, knitting with a worsted weight in a garment is like night and day. I couldn't even believe how fast the worsted knits up. And I don't think to me, it doesn't feel bulky or uncomfortable. I think it feels really nice. So that is all I want to talk about. I guess with the needles, I will mention the needle size I sized down, as I always do. So I'm using a US 5 and 7 for this. And so far, so good. I do want to show you a close-up because these speckles are so fun. I don't know if y'all can see that. This colorway has just some really fun, kind of neon-y, subtle speckles, which is so fabulous. I love it. So I'm just going to keep working on that. I have it in a little basket here, and yeah, it's been really fun. The next thing I wanted to show you, I haven't been working on my spinning so much because honestly, I was spinning so much, and I think moving my arm back and forth like this, that I think I hurt a muscle in my shoulder, and I'm not even kidding. I have no idea how that happened, but it did. So I was giving it a bit of a rest this week. And I did receive in the mail, though, my Hedgehog Fiber Fiber of the Month Club for March. So excited about this. I'm so excited. Now, if you haven't received it yet, go ahead and skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp here. I don't want to spoil the surprise for you because this is a really good one this month. I think I say that every month, but I love this. So here it is. I cannot tell you how much I just love everything about this. I love the colors. It's beautiful. This is a 125 gram combed top, custom blend, 70% merino, 30% sparkle. Can y'all believe that? That is so much sparkle. And I hope that y'all can see it. I don't know what color the sparkle is. I see kind of lavender in there. Maybe some gold. There's so much sparkle in here. So yeah, I am so excited about this. I do think I see some red. Oh, I have no idea what color the sparkle is in here. It is beautiful though. It is so, so beautiful. You'll have to take my word for it. But I love the way that they dye their fiber, because not only do they use so many colors, but it's all kind of random. So all of these shades are just, they're random. You just don't know, you open it up and you'll see, look, there's another section of green and aqua, kind of a turquoise. Nothing is, I guess you can't really, you can't plan your spin. So, if you wanted to do like a fractal spin or something like that, or even like striping, this wouldn't really be the fiber for you, I don't think. But I love barber pulling. That's one of my favorite things, and you always get a really good barber pull with their fiber, how it's spun, or how it's spun, how it's dyed, not spun, oh my word. So that's that. And I really wanted to just start spinning it right away, but I'm gonna be honest, I have a couple of months that I haven't spun up yet. So get those done, and then I can start on this, because I really, really love this. But that is it for projects I'm working on this week. I do want to talk a little bit about shop news, and then I will talk about kind of what I've been doing in my life. So for shop news, my April clubs are closed because today's April 1st. So I will be dyeing up those pre-orders, and I think they're going to be so great. I'm really excited to start dyeing those. And thank you to all of you who have ordered. I know that it's just so, this time right now is so, so crazy, but I really do appreciate each and every one of your orders. So thank you so much for those. I am so excited to dye those up and send them off to you. And I do also want to mention, I do have pre-orders for this kit in the shop right now. I will not be having a shop update this Friday. So this would be like my regularly scheduled shop update. I'm just not, because, yeah, my personal life and family have been needing most of my time, which is fine. And so hopefully, and I'll talk a little more about that in a minute, but hopefully once we find our new normal, I'll be able to carve out work time again and start dyeing all the yarn and fiber. But until then, things are just going to be a little slow in the shop. It's just the way it is. In the next few days, I will be putting up the May Club pre-orders. So crazy to be talking about May, but we are. And so those will be up in a few days, so keep your eyes out for those. All right, so how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. We're doing fine here. I mean, other than it's just a little difficult being stuck at home, and I'm sure everyone feels that way right now. I know I'm not alone in feeling that way. I feel very fortunate that we're all well. I don't know anyone around me who's sick, so I feel like we're very, very fortunate in that. And I have been taking, I guess, my family comes first, and that's basically what this boils down to. My family comes first. I have to have a very structured schedule in order to balance all the family things and then all the pineapple yarn things. And so when something in my personal life and my family life goes awry, then unfortunately pineapple yarn suffers. And I mean, it's just a matter of priorities, and they're my priority, and that's just the way it goes. So until we find our new normal in my family, and I'm not going to be as productive as I was, and that's okay. We're all doing our best. I know my kids are doing their best, and my husband's doing his best, and we're all just trying to keep our heads up and make it through this. I have been doing a lot of gardening, and so here in South Carolina, they've now closed the beaches. Or I shouldn't say they closed the beaches. They've closed public access to all beaches and docks, and so any opportunity that we would have had to go to the beach is now gone, and so we literally are stuck at home. And so I've just been gardening a lot, and I've been putting out all of my seedlings that I've started to grow. I have prepped some more beds that have just kind of been dead space around the house. We removed trees, and so there just really hasn't been anything growing there. And so I recently just mulched everything and just trying to enrich the soil, because gardening has really felt really, really good to me lately. And I think it's just being outside and fresh air and the spring air. It just feels so good. And so, yeah, I've been doing a lot of that and a lot of yard work, and staying active that way. It's felt so, so good. I love it. But yeah, that's really all that has been going on here. And I hope wherever you are doing well. I will continue to podcast. I will continue to dye yarn and fiber as my time permits me, and hopefully we'll just make it through and not get sick, and we'll come out on the other end just better than ever, I guess, right? And but I really do hope you're doing well. Thanks to all of you who have reached out to me and made sure I'm fine. We're doing great. Just trying to take it one day at a time. Trying to keep being patient, and trying to find our new normal, like I said. But that's all for this week. I hope to see you all next week. And if you like the podcast, I'd love if you would like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And until next time, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.